The ferocious feline is back, and this time with, honestly, an incredibly good budget headset. Good afternoon and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece warranty Wooks Triple XL, and we are expiring out here in Johannesburg because it is like 4 bajillion degrees. But what's not expiring is the good value that's coming out of Madcatz with their Pilot 3. These are astonishingly good for 650 Rand. Like, I didn't think they would be amazing. I wasn't expecting out of this world build quality, which they don't really have, but for like the audio and the mic for 650 bucks, the comfort, the build quality, everything at the price point is really, really solid. I used to just default for a lot of the budget headsets that I would suggest to Cooler Master, because in the price bracket, like sub 1,000 Rand, there was no real competition or nothing that I tested that came close to them. But these now enter the chat with a bit of a gut punch to a lot of the headphone manufacturers, because 650 Rand for this is kind of nuts. Anywho, let's go through what's in the box. Well, you obviously get a big old headset. As you may have noticed, this thing is kind of large and it is the circumaural type. You get a detachable microphone, which is kind of nice. You get a cable splitter as well to split the mic and the headset channels into individual channels for areas where you need it. You get a nice little pack of stickers and then the appropriate quick start guide and manual. The connectors on these are also gold plated, which is a little bit overkill considering their price point. It's just the splitter where they have them just default aluminium style setups. But at this price point and at this sort of quality, it's not going to make a massive difference. A big plus for this is the inline volume control and the mic. The actual, like I said, mic, the diaphragm, you might notice there, is quite open. That blue area is all the pickup spot. There is a little pinhole on the back for some noise cancelling, but it's so good out of box. Like, I was actually kind of stunned at how good this microphone is for this sort of price bracket. I think a little included pop filter on that may have been a nice added extra, but it doesn't go amiss. It doesn't have a lot of plosives that do come through, and where its general use is going to be for just doing chat, it's going to do just that. The cable on this is one of the longest I've ever seen. This thing is so long, it makes Yao Ming look like a short person. I believe the total cable length here must be over 2 meters, because that's 1.8. I'm 183 centimeter tall. So yeah, that's my span is about, let's say, a 1.8 meter test, and it's longer than that. So this is like a 2 meter cable coming out of here, nicely braided, has got Velcro for when you need to strap it and take it around. And to aid in that, the headphones, like I say, have a detachable point for the mic. The mic itself has a very specific key, so it can only go in one way, which is really, really nice, so you can't mess that up. And then these fold inside of themselves like that, so they are going to fit inside a bag or a backpack that much easier. The setups on the side for the actual ear cups have plenty of travel, and they do go up and down as well. The headband is very, very nicely done and very, very spongy as well. It's going to give you very, very good comfort, I would say, out of 10. And these are fat head capable. They are very much capable for fat heads. If I go to the absolute maximum, you'll see it actually has space over the top. Can you believe it? Even with my fat head, I do have a good head for testing for this. And the sound isolation from these is extreme. It almost feels like I'm in some sort of sound room like that. You will see, however, on the sides, there are tiny little vents up top there, just to relieve some of the sound pressure so they don't get too boomy inside of the ear cup. On the inside of the ear cups, there is a felt finish with an R for the right side and an L for the left side, so you don't put them on backwards at any point as well. And overall, the build quality, I would say, is average for the price point. It's nothing to write home about, but they also aren't built so badly that I think they're going to break or anything like that. Decently pliable on the headband as well, so it's got some flex in it, so if you've got a weird shaped head like your boy over here, then it is going to conform to that just right. Now, the audio quality is kind of interesting. If you go too high on the volume, it actually gets like too much mid-range, and generally I would say the highs are a little bit clipped. It didn't give me any sort of piercing effect when I was listening back to them, and bass was, I would say, average to above average. It does get really nice boomy tones from like explosions and stuff while I was playing Counter-Strike. I had a really good time with that. When you throw a grenade, it really sounds like a grenade on these headsets. And the audio positioning though was exceptionally good. I could hear where people were coming from all the time, dead accurate on that. So I've got to say, for audio positioning, and that being half of the point of a gaming headset, these are really good. The audio quality as well, I've got to say, for music and stuff was pretty decent. It's not anything near an audiophile reproduction, and at 650 Rand, it's not what I was expecting. Mids, like I say, are marked up just a little bit more than usual. And once you approach the top of the volume slider, they do start to distort somewhat. So you're going to look at about, say, 80 to 90% being your maximum. But where they are comfortable to listen to at the comfortable level, which I'd say is about 50 or 60% on the volume, then they were actually really good. And especially from my phone, funnily enough, they actually sounded better than what was coming out of my PC. I think that's because my phone may have some EQ enhancement on there that really synced well with these. I'm using a Galaxy S9, good old Samsung S9. Can you believe it? 7 years later, I'm still using the same phone. But it's old faithful, it just never dies. And yeah, just being able to tripole directly into there is really, really nice. And because it's got a triple pole as its base, it's going to be compatible with like all of your major consoles as well. So if you were looking at these as a good budget set for an Xbox or a PlayStation, etc., then they're going to work there just fantastically. Now though, let me jump over to the PC and show you how good this little mic is. Alrighty, so this is the mic raw and direct into the machine. And I think you'll agree, it's kind of amazing how good it is. There is a little bit of plosives and clipping and stuff, but it sounds really natural. It's not tinny. It doesn't sound like, coming into land is what I was expecting, especially from something called the Pilot 3. Hey, you see what I did there? But it's very, very good, just off its base platform. And now I'm going to quickly switch over to NVIDIA Broadcast and clean it up even further. Now we have it through NVIDIA Broadcast, and it's improved, but not like exceptionally, and that just shows how good the baseline microphone really is. It's got like incredible tone for its price point. I think I've gushed over it enough. 650 Rand, 650 Rand. Anyway, back to the studio. As you can see, with no boost enabled, it actually creates pretty good sound reproduction. It's not the loudest you're ever going to hear, but the quality, I gotta say, and the fullness of my voice from a microphone of this kind of cost, or a headset of this kind of cost, is staggeringly good. That's why I'm sort of like kind of bowled over by these. Overall, with how light they are, with how comfy the ear cups are, they don't give a lot of fatigue. It took about 3 hours before I started to get a little bit annoyed with them. So, and with a fat head, yeah, that's quite a long time. These are really, really nice, big and cushiony, and they're not too soft. They do have some bottom out in them where they get a little bit firm, which is more or less what you want anyway, because if they're too soft, then you're just going to get the plastic feeling, or your ear's going to touch the inside of the ear cup, and then that's not ideal. But for 650 Rand, I've got to say, these kind of shocked me. I wasn't expecting them to be even as good as they are, and the fact that the microphone is that good, it really just pushed them up a little bit for me. So you're probably going to see these when they're on special and I'm doing buyer's guides. You're probably going to see me suggest these actually quite often because of this experience that I've had with them. Anywho, that is all I have for you on the Madcatz Pilot 3. If you have enjoyed this review, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.